Good morning, everyone. My name is Costa Guerra. This is my beautiful wife, Sammy Guerra, coming to you live from Miami, Florida. Welcome to our very first episode of the show we put together called EpicShare, where concepts are worth sharing. We're very excited to be on this show, honey, together. We've spent a lot of time with our team over the last few months putting this entire show together. So first and foremost, honey, what is this show really about?
Well, this show, it's about sharing real information with real people.
And of course, what makes us very unique is we're what they call the yin yang in a world of relationship.
Absolutely. They call Costa and I the perfect yin and yang.
And we are.
And we are, for sure. It's two people, two different personality, completely different, but still share the same values.
By the way, this show takes place every Thursday at 11 a.m. for a duration of 11 minutes. This particular episode is very unique. Why, honey?
Absolutely, because 1111, it's really a special number. So if you do pay attention and, on your clock and suddenly you able to focus and notice that number, I want you to, really take the time to make a wish or think about your next manifestation.
Taking this particular episode to the next level, today happened to be July 11. 11 for 11 minutes at 11 a.m. So very, very special. So what we're going to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, on this particular show, it's about relationship.
Of course.
And about the laws of love and how Sammy and I come from two different worlds with two different personalities, yet figure out a way to make it work and actually excel at it, honey.
Absolutely. And we're not just talking about just relationship alone as a mate or partner. It's also involving yourself, relationship with yourself, with your friend, with your co-worker, with family, and your kids. If you know those laws, your life will be much more easier.
So let's dive into that because we've got about 11 minutes in total.
Of course.
And over the next 6-7 minutes, we want to dive into more of what this sort of episode is about. What could we share from our experience with everyone in this relationship world we live in? So, be it you're brand new in a relationship, you've been there for 20 years, whatever it is, we might be able to share a few tips that we have inherited over time and we've learned that could assist you in excelling at your relationship and to the point of perfecting it as much as possible. With that, honey, let's dive into it.
Absolutely, 100%. For me, in any relationship, and especially with someone that I want to share my life for the rest of my life, is if there is no kindness or loyalty, and we go through this in a minute.
Absolutely.
Kindness, loyalty, gratitude, and consistency and integrity, then there is no relationship. This will never work. And this is not just in a husband and wife relationship. I'm talking about those values apply to anybody else in your life.
Since everybody knows my wife as a queen of kindness, why don't you dive into that, love, and talk about kindness?
Absolutely. Kindness, it's treat people like human. I'm not going to tell you how to be kind. You know in your heart what make you feel good and what's peaceful for you.
Absolutely. And I'm going to dive into the important one, loyalty. Very important to me, loyalty in my relationship, to my friends, to my family, to colleagues I work with, to partners. Highly recommend that. That is one absolute quality that takes time, over time to build. It's not an overnight, correct?
Absolutely. And that will build trust. And that's what you want in a relationship. And the next one is gratitude. Show people around you that you are so grateful to be with them. Whether it's your friend, whether it's your kids, whether it's your husband or co-worker. Show appreciation to people.
And show it verbally, in writing, gesture, however you can, because just saying it is one thing, but going that extra mile, that extra step to actually showing it is more important.
Absolutely. And a lot of people, I add a little bit into it,
Absolutely.
if you don't mind, say, well, I don't know, I'm shy to communicate. Well, then don't talk, right? Take a time. There is many ways to express someone your gratitude, that will make a difference.
And obviously you're the master of it. Her greeting cards or thank you cards are like a book.
Like a book.
Literally, I have them. Those of you been to our home, you've seen. I have them on my desk in my home office. It's literally a book. So whatever it does for you, for me, I'm not a good at writing those books. So I find other ways to show and display my commitment, my gratitude to my partner.
Yeah, and allow me to share that part. I'm not expecting him to write me a story, how much he loved me. But he showed through even taking the time to buying me a card means a lot. Just signing his name or flowers. So there is many ways. Don't let any excuse stopping you from showing gratitude to the next person around you.
But I also do that, honey, not just with my love, which is you, also my staff, my partners, my co-workers, anybody else that I'm in interaction on a day-to-day basis that I value the relationship. I definitely go out of my way to show gratitude and how appreciative I am for whatever they did, be it a small little thing all the way to whatever skill that they've done something for you.
Absolutely. I witnessed that for sure.
Let's talk about consistency, honey.
This is a very good one too, because in order to manifest something, and even let's say you want to build trust in any relationship, be a person of your word. When you say you're going to do something, just keep doing. Be consistent every day, because there is some great value in being consistent, right? It shifts your vibration in your mind, so you create a routine to success.
And most of you don't know me. I'm always known as a global citizen. I've traveled the world. I've been to over 200 plus cities, 60 plus countries, and pretty much every corner of this world. Lived in 9 countries. So I've sort of over time learned about a lot of cultures. And I think, in my opinion, one of the most consistent cultures in the world are Japanese. They're incredible how consistent they are. They stick to their word, they to their promise, and it's the same message all the time. And that's very, very important. Not being wishy-washy. One day you say something and next day changing it. So you agree?
I agree 100%. But consistency also have great value in succeeding your desire. For example, and I know you're gonna agree that 100%. You didn't get successful because one day you decide to go to work and the next day I'm taking 3 days off. You were every day at work. You were every day working.
Absolutely. And that also carries over to our personal life. And the same goes for you in your personal life, being consistent. Again, be it with your family members, at work, in your personal life, maintaining that consistency and making sure whatever you promise, you don't go on your word. Don't change it. Keep your promise, correct?
Absolutely. And that's actually going to be to the next one, integrity. Be a person of your word. When you say something, mean it. And if you're not sure, then don't say it. Because when you say something out, it's already out there. It's very hard to take it back.
Absolutely. And I know I bring in the business relationship, the partnership, friends, staff, co-workers, employees, but that applies to all aspects of your life.
100%.
Every aspect of your life is important to keep that integrity, because at the end of the day, stripping you from everything else you have, from your PhDs, the monies you have, the watches, the cars, everything else, what you're left with is with your integrity and how people will remember that, correct?
Absolutely. And to really understand this is, if let's say you have a change in heart, okay, in a relationship, this is very important, okay, or you give your word and then something came up and then you can't fulfill those expectation. What you should do, communicate with the person. When you give your integrity to someone or a commitment to somebody, you can still take it back. If there is an emergency that came up or you change your mind, right? Communicate with them.
And we're all guilty of not doing
Absolutely.
it. We've all been in a relationship. And even if you've only been in a relationship for a few years, keep that in mind. If there is something bothering you, it's very important to communicate, correct?
Of course. Absolutely.
So go ahead, honey.
Because your word, it's everything. You know, when you give, let's say I give my word to Costa, and I'm going to use him because I spend a lot of time with him, and said, I'm going to do this, Costa, tomorrow. And then something came up. The first thing you do, out of respect, go back to, the communication. I said, Costa, I'm going to take back what I just said. Or negotiate. Can we do this another week? Or can you? That's when help you to stay in integrity with life, period, right?
Very important, absolutely. And I think for me is, just like you said, replicating that is, I do the same and I keep my word to communicate if I cannot deliver on the promise I made. And I see that quite often. People just say it for the sake of that moment, something like that. And then they realize they cannot deliver, what we call an overpromise, underdeliver. Very important in a business world, equally important in a personal life.
Absolutely. And just to complete that, just understand it's okay to change your mind, but please communicate.
Absolutely. So with that said, we're almost towards our end of our show there. 11 minutes on 11 o'clock every Thursday. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And we're going to be sending a lot of information over the next few months about different topics, different shows, different candidates that will be joining. With that said, our time is up. Thanks for yours and have an epic week. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.